Hello, fellow choreographers. One quick question for you today. Does anybody work completely on their own when choreographing? I mean, even if you're dancing your own solo, you need someone to press play for the music. And even if you maybe don't have music, you need someone to actually get the audience to you, right? So let's agree that we always have to collaborate as choreographers. And that's fantastic. I mean, we have the amazing chance to be with a group of talented artists that we have chosen and share ideas and really invite them to contribute to our process. But the reality is that it all goes really well at the beginning, but then if you've been choreographing for long enough, you know that at some moment maybe it starts to be tricky because these are human beings, these are living and feeling and breathing beings, and they are artists. So sometimes we have different opinions, different ways, and you are in a position in which you have to take in account their needs, but also your own needs as artists. And it's hard. It's not easy. So, what we're proposing here is a training that will help you be the best leader to collaborate with a fantastic team of artists that you have invited to your process to make the best art. I have seen it many times when everybody's happy and the process is going well and we have enough time for the creation. Everything is flowing and it's kind of easy to lead people when you are in those circumstances. But how often are we stressed for time, or there has been last minute change because someone is injured, or maybe the budget is tight? So that is a reality of our work. And often we're just working on intuition alone. We are not specifically trained to deal with these circumstances, with these hurdles that are actually going to happen no matter what. If you've been choreographing for long enough, you know that this will happen. And we all have our best intentions. And I believe that every person that goes onto choreographing has this kind of like expansive personality that you really want to collaborate with other artists that you respect and admire. But despite our best intentions, sometimes we get stressed, and sometimes that stress really fits into the room that we're working in, and sometimes we might shut off, and that means that the quality of the piece and the quality of the input that we're giving to the artist is a lot less than it could be. So how do we solve this? We solve this by having a little bit more of self-awareness. So what I'm inviting you through this program, this leadership program, is a journey of self-discovery. And I'm really excited to say that one of the coaches that is going to help you get into this journey is Isabel Mortimer. Now, Isabel Mortimer works with Clore Leadership. She also works with Dancers Career Development, and she was the first coach that I ever spoke with when I was transitioning from being a dancer to being a choreographer and a dramaturg. And she was fantastic. And if you might have experienced chatting with her already, but if you talk to anybody, if you haven't, and you talk to anybody, you will realize that she's truly fantastic. And what will you get? You will become more confident. You will have a team that is more engaged, that is more motivated, and that knows better what your expectations are from them and how to really give their best in the spaces that you're creating, in the working spaces. So perhaps you have some objections, right? You could be a bit like, I'm already quite a good leader. You know, I've been doing this for a while and I'm getting good results. And we're not talking about the good moments, the happy moments that everybody is really collaborating seamlessly. We're talking about those moments that you know that happen in which you might be stuck and you might need a moment, and at the same time there are a lot of needs in the room, and perhaps you are exploring something new in your practice, which is great, and you should really do that, but perhaps you don't have any support. And those moments in which you know you need to be in your head, you need to understand what's happening to you in order to then lead all these people that are waiting for you. We can do this better. There are actually tools and research that can help us do that better. And if you own that, if you really are able to work through those blocks, through those challenges, through those perhaps parts of your leadership that are a little bit weaker, and really recognize your strengths, then what will happen is that in those situations you're going to be like, oh yes, I know this, I know I can recognize why this is happening, and essentially I can change this pattern, and I can confidently talk to these people and find out what's better for everyone in this situation. So you can perhaps have a different objection, which is that you already know yourself and you've done a lot of work on your own, especially perhaps you are a dancer and you have had some tough moments and you're like, well, I've been there, I know what I'm doing. But what we're offering here is the expertise. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do all the kind of guesswork and intuition and think that I'm just gonna try how this works and see if this process is gonna go forward, because those processes are too precious. I mean, you have been fundraising for so long to make sure that you get the money to get those artists in the room. You want to use that time to really excel, to really allow everybody to give their best. It's too important to risk it to intuition only. So why not use the expertise of people that have been working with leaders for a really long time? And on that note, what's the difference between a leader and a manager? A manager simply tells people what to do. A leader inspires. And that's what you want to do with your art. You really want to take people on board. You want all the artists to contribute to your vision so that it's elevated and is something that you could never have done on your own, right? If you could do it on your own, then there's no point in bringing other artists into your process. So what we're talking about here is small actionable steps. We're not talking about this like huge transformation that will happen over time, but this awareness is key to really start having the best rehearsals in which everybody is confident and can be on the same page and really give their best. So in the next video, I'm gonna give you some strategies and techniques to really discover your leadership style, to understand which style you kind of like lean into when you're relaxed and which one do you step into when you're stressed, and how that understanding can be applied to your rehearsals. And just to finish up, I have a small action for you to take today. I want you to take a moment to reflect on a rehearsal or like a specific session of your rehearsal in which you felt truly in sync with your team, in which everything was working really well. And I would like you to understand the conditions of what was allowing that peace and that moment of focus and of integrity to happen. What were the conditions? What can you learn from it? And how much of that you can apply moving forward to your rehearsals? And perhaps put it on the notes and just share it with other people, because what we're trying here as well is to build a community of choreographers, which is rare. We have a community of dancers, but we don't really have a community of choreographers in which we can really share with each other our experiences, get advice, and hold each other accountable. And we need a community. Like, that's, as human beings, that is what makes us better, and that is the way we learn. We learn from other people, right? So comment on that particular moment, describe that particular moment to other people, and sign into our mailing list to make sure that you don't miss the next video. Or you can just watch this space, and we'll publish it here as well. Wishing you the best for your process.